Wait.
1,000. You supposed to be on the computer. Hey YouTubers, it's your boy Leejoe. Yeah, I just wanna. I know I've been kind of absent for a little bit, neglecting my YouTube page and not making an episode. But this will be Thatsjussleejoe episode 20. Yes, I'm the big 220-0. Next episode I will be 21. So I just wanted to break some things down to you. There's been some enlightened situations going on with me at I don't really like making negative videos, but this will be kind of on the negative side, explaining why I quit WoW. And I was debating over this for a long time. Yes, right now my subscription is still active. I still like the game, the bases, and the description of it, and I still have very fond memories. Let's get this straight. I played this game since 2007. So about 2007, 2008, I started playing World of Warcraft. That's 7-8 years, people. So it has been a very heartbreaking situation what has happened to me, from Cataclysm to Pandoria, whatever they call Miss Pandoria, to this new expansion Draenor, which I had very high hopes for, and it just let me down a little bit. First, I was in nostalgia, and I was playing it, and I was having fun, and then the party just stopped because I beat it. I finished the legendary quest chain. I finished a lot of things, and I had a lot of Warcraft recordings, but I deleted them. So, but I'm going to run it down to you. I made me a list, and I'm really taking it seriously of why I left WoW. And yes, my subscription is still active. Well, my subscription is not still active. I paid with the last month with in-game gold, but I don't even think I'm going to do that next month because I'll switch back to my first love, Star Wars. But more on that later. Okay, the questing. All right. This is my first expansion where I have gotten Lore Master in any of the zones. It usually be so many quests and so many side quests and all of that. And that's what I love about the game, because I'm originally a first-person, one-person gamer. I played through the game. I beat the story. I play games for the story. I don't play games for in-game. I play games to see where the story goes, how the story is, because that's the best thing I like about games is they're mini movies. But Warcraft kind of dropped the ball with that. The story, the alternate storyline, ultimately now we find out that the in-game boss is Archimon, which they really had a chance to do something really special with the quest, and they didn't. I beat the legendary quest pretty fast. I became a writer, and a pretty prominent one. I got in heroics, a lot of heroics. My gear is rolled out. You'll see this in this video. But for the questing was just dull and boring. And I'd say it only took me maybe 20 hours to quest through the entire Draenor. I was level 100 the first week that I got Draenor. It barely took me. It didn't take me that long, and it's horrible. So. Like I like the fact that the experience grind and things that went on with WoW, but they kind of messed that up and just push you through it's all about in game now, and I don't like that philosophy. And I'm just, like I said, not enough questing, not enough. The experience was too fast. They just rushed you through it. They talked about all this ground content, but I mean, it just wasn't. It wasn't memorable. I honestly cannot remember one quest that I did from questing from 1 to 100 in Draenor, and just simple as that. Garrisons. while I do like Garrisons, and I do feel like the Garrisons was a masterpiece, but a masterpiece of what? The Garrison was the masterpiece of pretty much killing the auction house, making gold, the economy a while completely. The Garrison killed it. Because they put a mining area in there. They put it to where you had to buy crystals. They pretty much gave you everything you wanted, you needed in the game to help your character out and progress. And they made it to where you don't rely on other people. You don't go out in the world on a regular basis. They made it where but I wanted to. They dropped the ball completely. They needed it to have it to where it was a multiple community where you could have garrisons or whatever, and they should have put housing in the game. But I'm not gonna nitpick on that. But yeah, they dropped the ball with that. And then they got people sitting in their garrisons, and they pretty much made your garrison a capital city, and I just don't. It's just laziness and dumbing down things for the players. They should, if they was gonna give you a garrison, the garrison was originally supposed to be completely cosmetic and have that time game in there, put a time game in there, and now people aren't even playing the game they used to. They're chiming in and signing off. And I did that for weeks. I just did not feel like playing the game no more. I played every raid in the game. I probably got probably 7 or 8 out of 10 on all of them, and it's not the bosses weren't imaginative. They didn't make sense. They spreaded you out. It was just like they tried to kill a player base, and they made tanking stupid. They made healing not fun anymore. They made it harder. They took away my healing spells and all that stuff. But that's another thing. I'm getting into that. But just they dumbed down garrisons. They gave you too much out of the garrisons, but didn't give you enough more cool stuff that you can get, like mounts or whatever, stuff that just players have fun with instead of you. The garrisons pretty much work. It's work without seeing the rest of the game, and it killed the garrisons, killed the economy, and I'm not really too happy with that.
Oh my gosh,
gear system still hasn't fixed the gear system. The gear system is just white. It's like I said, they made it to where switching, but instead they made it to where I'm a healer in the game, right? And a shield drops for me for my shaman that works perfect with me. Well, just because it has strength on it, a tank can see that as, well, it's mine. And no, I like that about the game before, where you had Pacific gear assigned to Pacific character and classes. It was more gear in the game. Now more people share more of the same gear. And I'm just not too happy about that. It's just they just messed it up. Instead of them giving you more gear when you run things, and kind of the gear system helps the player more and designed for less people. They design the gear for more and more people, and there's more chances to get gear stolen from you. There's more chances to get just silliness. And for me to be playing the game close to 10 years now, and they literally don't give you gear, and then the Apex's crystal vendors is just, don't get me started on that. It's just horrible. They just messed it up completely, and it's just not like they should do something about it. If they want to dumb down a part of the game, they should have dumbed down that. Now, you don't want a bunch of people running around with the same gears or whatever, but that's going to happen. It's Warcraft. That's why they put Transmorph and a bunch of other things. There's no memorable gear. They messed up the gear system. Warforged seals, and what is that? The new one they coming out, the bonus rolls, that sucks. Plain and simple, outright. Have to say it like that. At one point I spent 15 of them, and I got 2 pieces of gear out of spending 15 Warforged seals, and it was duplicates. None of the gear was anything I needed on my main character, and that just irked me. It still does. Not evolving. I mean, sorry, I said, but elevating the game, step it up. Wow, like the shipyard was really like there's nothing new to the game. It's all old recycled skin, old recycled mechanics. There's nothing new in the game. You got all these garrison followers, but maybe 4 of them you can walk around with outside of your garrison, which that really was a bummer. You should have just had people, especially you giving these people gear. You should be able to walk around the entire game, including old Azeroth, with any companion you wanted. Like, they try to put a companion system in there like Star Wars has, but they couldn't even come close. It's just not even close. Like, don't do something somebody else is doing if you can't do it right. So they really, that the followers and all that is companions gone wrong. That's pretty much what it is. Flying. Now, I was expecting them to do some more of the flying, and they lied and beat around the bush to fly so much to where I'm just tired. The whole Warcraft team is liars. They don't listen to the player fan base, and only way they listen to the player fan base is because they lost 3 million subscribers, but they're on the way to losing another 2 or 3 more million subscribers, and nobody's coming back to it. I'd rather play Star Wars, and more on that in a minute. But like I said, they didn't add anything to flying. Flying is still the same, and then you took it away, and then in Draenor, you give me instead of playing gold and doing what has worked all these years, you're gonna make me get a meta achievement to get flying. Please, I can do without flying. I'll play a different game. Shipyard. Now, they really missed the ball on this one. Where, okay, Shipyard is just a garrison. It's just a glorified garrison table. And, okay, you have a shipyard, and the ships you actually build are there in your yard. You can see them, you can walk around them, but you can't sell them. The game it's like the world has a very large body of water that they programmed, and they put fish in, and they do a lot of stuff. But they missed the ball, which I wouldn't have cared if they delayed it 6 months, if they actually gave me actual ships, like in the mission in Thousand Needles, which they messed up Thousand Needles, but I'm not going into that. In that zone, they give you a little thing, little something, and you click on it, and you get a ship that you can sell around Thousand Needles. I think some people still have it. I think I have it on one of my accounts that I can still shell that shipyard around Thousand Needles. That's what I thought they was gonna do. They was gonna give you actual ships you sell around, stuff in the ocean that you can go see and explore and just play around with, and just have it be fun, something new. That since they put flying in World of Warcraft, that it's nothing new. It's just recycled, and I really think they missed the ball on the shipyard, because once I figured out I heard a lot of people saying, but once I really figured out what the shipyard is, I'm like, no, you could have just gave me more and better followers for this. It just didn't make no sense. My followers don't sell the ship. You just put it on thing. You just slide your ship over, and then that's it.
Answer my question.
Expansion failures.
Answer my question.
Okay, I'm sorry you may think this is harsh, but Cataclysm, a failure. They pretty much messed up the entire game. They messed it up where you can't even quest in Barrens anymore because it's stupid, it's messed up. No one goes to Tanaris anymore because you can't get there as a low level, only as a high level, and nobody goes there. The arena thing that's in Tanaris is useless. Thousand Needles, which was one of my favorite zones, was completely wiped out with Cataclysm. Pandaland. Although I did like the monk class, I did like the pandas, they was done very well. I did like the actual zone, except for Dead Waste. Dead Waste was stupid. And a lot of things that happened. And I like the raids that was out of there. It had some very good raids and a little bit of plot line. But they had already messed up in the path that they took Thrall and in Cataclysm. And Pandaland is a direct reflection of that. And that's why a lot of people left, because the story got stale. It was more of the same thing, but it was better than actual Draenor. And it's crazy me saying that, because I love Draenor, I love Outlands. It's the thing that made me hooked on the game. But it just sucks. It's just how everything is evolving and going in the story, to which they did all that, in which I'm talking about Draenor now. They did all that just to pretty much get there. And then the goblins, they never had an evolving storyline. They just you rescued Thrall, you became part of the Horde. That's it. I still haven't seen Gallywix. He just showed up when Garrosh was dead for no reason. He's not a fighter. The goblins don't even have a warrior leader, so they kind of missed the ball on a lot of building on the foundation of their what they've built. And I'm just not a fan at all. It's just kind of got there with that. Yeah, then Draenor, they follow suit. The story's too short. You questing, you really don't get no good gear. There's a few weapons and memorable stuff going on, but nothing really. I can't even remember a quest that I did in Draenor. Dumbed down content. Well, the game feels like a game set for 10-year-olds now, which is supposed to be the Facebook of gaming. It was supposed to be something for older people, and just keep on building with that and have adult themed stories and kind of run with it. But it's just not shaping out to be that way, and I'm just not happy about it too much. So I'm done with it. It just doesn't, like, dumb down like the Garrison. Another example. Putting all the mining in the Garrison, not having to go out and actually find stuff, not actually have to go out and find parts to build things, and it's like I never even used none of Garrison features, got no gear from the Garrison, because I'm a gamer and I find the quickest way to do stuff easy. I always find stuff a way around there. And then like the savage blood, like that, just a stupid system altogether. Just the gear that goes back to the gear system. So I'm gonna leave that alone. Just complete dumbed down content. I just feel like I'm playing a game for 10-year-olds. I don't feel like I'm playing a teen oriented game anymore, or a adult oriented game, and it just doesn't make sense. Toxic player base. I'm sorry. You can sue me if I'm wrong, but WoW has made me miss single player games, because the social people that do talk to you, they suck. They talk stuff to you. They cuss you out. It's like, or they don't talk to you at all. Like, it's just, like I said, you look for a group or whatever for a raid, and I'll tell you, you'll be kicked. You'll be kicked. Why the hell are you kicking people in a video game? Unless somebody just left or their computer messed up or whatever, but they are actually kicking people and acting a fool and talking to people crazy and people trolling and just very angry people on World of Warcraft all the time, and it's just sickening. I play games to relax, and I might be a gamer and I find the quickest way to beat things. I beat a lot of games, but it's just not fair. You make it a kids game, but you got a bunch of people that are not appropriate for kids in your game. I know you can't censor the public, but it's just, the player base is just horrible. I don't even want to talk to people with the player base because they're horrible. If people, like, you have a lot of standout people that stay to themselves, it's just a very toxic environment when you play WoW, especially when you talk to people. The texts the people put on there, it's just bad. And it's just, I just don't want to be a part of it anymore. I'm sorry. Bankrupt social element. Well, if they're not talking to you crazy or cussing you out, then they're just not talking to you at all. You don't have to go and find groups and none of that. That was the greatest thing about WoW, that I had to explore, see people out in the world. People were much more friendly. And they say this, and that. But you can go inside with the daily areas now, and people don't even talk to you. You could, like, there's no social element anymore. And they just bankrupted it with this garrison feature, where that was one of the big things, where you was in your capital city, it was a bunch of people around, and you have a party, act a fool, but either they don't talk to you, your guilds, they don't talk to you, I think you should still have to find guilds. There should not be no guild finder. Or they're inside their garrison typing away on a chat and saying stupid stuff. And there still isn't a voice chat tool in game. And if it was, like, people wouldn't let their kids play this game because of the type of horrible influences that are on it, and the type of people just don't talk at all. Just don't say nothing. I'm in a guild where I tried for 4 weeks straight to get people to do raids and different stuff with me and didn't do it. My guild leader threatened to kick people out because there's no social element no more. You got a guild of a bunch of people that's just online and don't talk to each other, or you got a bunch of guilds that just 2 or 3 members and nobody's online. Like, it's horrible. Neglecting PvP. It is 8-9 months after launch. Well, probably about 8 months, 7 or 8 months after launch, and there's still no new PvP arena. And there's still no new battlegrounds. Well, it's Ashran. Ashran sucks. I'm sorry. And the tone of this video is gonna be kind of bad, but just Ashran sucks. When you go on Ashran and you're running around there, it's beautiful, but you don't know what you're doing. There's PvP elements there's PvE elements tied into the PvP, and like I said, the Lions wins a lot of times. I kick Lions, but most of the time. But they got to get things going. You got a bunch of people on the game that don't really know what they're doing. All the real hardcore gamers left. Nobody wants to play this. WoW is going down real fast, and I don't know how they can get it back. It's just unless they turn back the tell of time, because I honestly feel like Cataclysm shouldn't have happened. That messed everything up, and it's just all bad. It's just no PvP element. Instead of be given outside PvP zones where you go there and you quarrel for it, but Ashran just you have to start a group with the people that's in Ashran in the battle area to actually get into it, and like there's no clear objectives. The battle starts every 10 minutes and you don't know how to win, and it's just a lot of useless objectives. And like I said, plus the PvP gear is not good. It's just reskin stuff and just it's not a good look. It doesn't make me want to play 1,000 hours of PvP to get that stuff. It just sucks. And then there's just no new battlegrounds. That's fun of the new expansion, is there's a new battleground and you want to play it and you want to master it and see how it goes and how it does. But like all the good horror people left because it's just an overall bad experience. Lack of a good story. Now, I was excited about Gyros going back, the Iron Horde, a lot of things that was going on in the game, but it's not there anymore. It's just plain and simple not there anymore. They jacked up the whole story. When actually going into Draenor, it was actually because I like alternative timelines and alternate realities and stuff like that, and going back, but they kind of messed up the whole flow of Well, this is not the they didn't go back in time. They went to an alternate realm in reality. So whatever happened in Draenor hasn't happened. You go back to the same crappy expansion after this was over. And really, honestly, I mean, usually a WoW expansion lasts a year, year and a half, and you have that much content bring you through. But it's nowhere near that. They didn't put enough raids in there, didn't enough stuff happen in between a lot of the things. There was only 8 dungeons, in which I'm still not happy with. There's only 3 raids. Like, you cut off half the content, and it's just not good for the player base. Where you're looking at where now, and then mythic raids. Are you joking me? I don't want to do that stuff again. What you think makes you want to do it on a harder difficulty, and my gear is stronger than anything you can get me out of there. The raid is completely unimaginable. Like I said, the first 3 fights, I ran through them on first try. Like, come on. Now, I don't want harder content. I want harder content raids or whatever. I want more enjoyable. I want more content that has to do with that. I want a longer story that's going to take me longer than a week to beat. And that's pretty much about, you probably add up all the hours in a week. That's probably all it took me to beat Draenor. It shows a complete lack of effort. Just plain and simple. Just a complete lack of effort on Blizzard's part. I've been finding myself playing Heroes of the Storm more. I've jumped back on Star Wars, in which, if I want to play Warcraft, Star Wars has a better storyline. I'm actually a Star Wars fan, believe it or not. I've came back, and I'm happy with what they're doing with the storyline. They actually listen to the player base, even though there is no flying, but how they took away flying, that's like Star Wars saying, you know what, y'all don't have no ships anymore. So you're going to have personal transports to transport you to the planets you're going to. That's what they're doing. And the flight plans, that suck. That's not a resolution. And I've been talking for almost 30 minutes about this very toxic game, and I'm done. This is going to be an episode of Thatsjussleejoe, but this is pretty much why I'm done with WoW. I'm done. Not going back. Unless they fix the problems, the next expansion has at least 8 dungeons. At least 6 dungeons, 16 dungeons, 6 raids, and the content is longer. They actually put something new in the game instead of just recycling old crap that the first team had put together all the way back at WoW 1, before the expansion started. It's just not. I don't know. I beat everything in a day, and I have no incentive to play the game. I beat the new content. I went through Toronto Jungle, and only thing that's left is dailies. I don't want to do any more dailies. And then there's no incentives to do dailies. Everything costs so much, but the gold earning is less than it was in Pandaland and Cataclysm. You earn way less gold. They might give you more gold or whatever up front, but for missions, I'm still getting 8-10 gold per mission. Where the hell? What's up with inflation in the game of WoW? So, with that being said, I'm going to end this video. Like my channel, subscribe. Until next time, YouTubers.
You can tell how I speak, I'm a king. You can tell how I walk. You can tell how I walk. You can tell how I speak, I'm a king. Hey, you can tell how I walk, I'm a boss. And you can tell how I speak, I'm a king. Hey, you can tell how I walk. You can tell how I walk. You can tell how I speak, I'm a king. When I'm walking up, I'm bossing up, and not even on purpose, bro. You talk too much, you stopping for your type. I seen it all too much.
Naturally, not assign anyone less than a Jedi Master to such a task.
But your patience, your compassion, and wisdom show that you merit the rank. Will you accept and become the Order's newest Jedi Master?
How could I refuse such an honor? Kneel, and the Supreme Chancellor will bear witness.
We are one voice, one order, bound together by the Force.
Through his actions, this Jedi has proved worthy before our order and the Force itself.
We grant you the rank of Jedi Master. Protect and guide the Republic as the Force guides you.
Rise, and may the Force be with you.
Congratulations.